All right. Well, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, December 16th, 2024. We're moving into the week of contract expiration. We do have the quadruple witching on Friday with options and options on stocks and futures. All the contracts will be expiring, so it should be an interesting week of probably some shitty price action, but we'll see here. I did want to jump on and show you just what happened here over the last couple days from last week. So looking at Thursday and Friday, there were some it's kind of like what they've been saying with these drones, right? If you don't take a video of it and you show it to people, people won't even believe you, right? It's just unbelievable. So I want to show you what's happened here. Even though the market, if I bring up the higher time frames to give you kind of a bird's eye view of what's going on here, the market quite literally for over a week has just been coming down and then going up and then coming down and then going back, like quite literally just back and forth. But despite the fact that the market hasn't had a clear higher time frame trend one way or the other, it has been just marvelous. As far as our levels are concerned, the market has been reacting to them almost as if they're using our levels to dance around. I don't know, it just blows me away. So let's take a look here. Coming into Thursday of last week, because I don't think I was here on Friday to do a review, you can see, first of all, as the market was selling off coming into Thursday morning, it came right to the major 38 retrace, or the smaller 38 retrace. Yeah, ducked through it by a point, but came right up to the previous daily close to fail down and bounce to the tick. And I feel like maybe we were here, maybe not, but came right to the 61.8 retrace or the 50 retrace to the tick, bounced out, and then just before the open here, you can see right to the back end of the next roadmap level, which was also the VWAP and the 200 moving average. So a great short opportunity there. And then here we come into the open where the market came up, and you can't see it because this line was printed right there, but to the tick, kissed the back end of the holy orange power level at the open here on Thursday of last week to give yourself a great opportunity for a short. There was a bearish divergence, not only right there locally between the two peaks, but also in comparison with that last major swing high. So lots of great clues there to try a short off the Hopel, which is always kind of a great level to try when we're traveling all the way back into it after the market has moved away from it, either to the upside or to the downside. So right to it. And then market opens here, and you see it fails down back below VWAP and the 200 and all that. And then you get yourself a beautiful, let's see if I can do this on my laptop here. Sometimes I forget the controls. Look at that beautiful opportunity here right out of the open on Thursday. They came right to the VWAP. They peeked through it there. Look at that divergence when they peeked through, basically coming right to our roadmap level. Another great short opportunity. And then they come right to the expected support where we get a bounce. So you had a great opportunity to take some profit there. And then it pops up and we get another bearish divergence, double top right around the VWAP, continuing in the bearish direction, bouncing again right off that little cluster of roadmap levels, right? And then I got to speed this up because this is basically how all Thursday went, how all Friday went, and how pretty much almost all the time here with the S&P Roadmap levels. So they come all the way down. Unfortunately, we didn't bounce to the tick from there, but the bulls rally it back up, and then we start getting this beautiful bullish opportunity all the way up right back to the close of the day before, where, what do you know, we get a bunch of bearish divergence right up off of that level, and we get a beautiful pullback from there. So on the bullish bounce, you can see they came pulled back right to that 200 there with a bullish divergence for a nice long, bringing you right up to that next area. Now, I would have been a little weary that the bulls were going to get through the Hopel, right? Because typically we do see these big retracements right back into them, and then they come right off of it. But they did make it through and came right to discreetly that next level. And then you can see here for a while, and this is what I mean, this is why this level is so important every day. They kept coming right back to it, coming, and then finally we get the failure. And inside of all this chop, look at what price is doing, coming right down to the expected support, holding the back end of the VWAP, coming up into hopeful and pulling back, and then even inside the chop, pulling back into the other roadmap level right here. It's just blows me away. Then we get the continuation to the downside where the market comes down into, this was kind of a intermediary level between the two major support and resistance levels. And it was there because we see on shorter time frames that the market comes in on the shorter time frames, like what you see right here. And we'll see it kind of come right into that level, get below it, come up below it, use it as a resistance, get back above it, use it as a support. And sure enough, what happened right here, we get the pullback. Now it didn't bounce to the tick, but it did right here. And then once it got below, that then became the next major resistance point with a bearish divergence. Once again, this is my favorite trade setup right here, right? When we get a test into a level, we get a peek through it by a couple ticks and we get a bearish divergence and then the continuation in the direction of that trend. So we haven't even gotten really fully through Thursday here yet, so let me hurry up. Then they come all the way down discreetly right to that retracement level they used earlier, bounced right off of it again for another opportunity. And again, you can see how the market just, bam, right inside. It's like a ping pong or whatever that game was back, Atari game, where it just kind of just quite literally just back and forth between all these roadmap levels. Then they make it all the way down and they get just below the next major roadmap level. And what happens at the end of the day, they come to the back end of that previous fib retracement level that we gave our members, and they pull right off of it for a little scalp at the end of the day, right back, where do you know, to our roadmap level there at 60.60, and then the market closed. That brings us here into Friday from last week, where, again, in the overnight session, you had a nice pullback right to the 200 here. You also had, look at that, the overnight high was right off that little intermediary level that I was just talking about. Comes back to the 200 here where we find support, and then we get the push all the way back up. And now here, coming into the open on Friday, I actually got a beautiful trade as we were pulling back right to the hopeful, right to the 200 and the S&R level right here. We had all this divergence as we were pulling back into that area. Look at how extreme the RVI had gotten. And I gave it a shot. And sure enough, right out of the open, I got my profit right into, I expected resistance at 80 here. And then my runner did not get the rest, right? So I got a decent little trade up there. And then the market started to fail. And this is where I got another fade later on in the morning here somewhere. But look at the absolute textbook beautiful price action that we got. We got the sell-off that started. We had the hold of the back end of the 200 with a big divergence there when that happened. And then we just start to hold the back end of all our levels. There's the kiss of the hopeful to the tick with a bearish divergence there on the second test. There's the failure down. And here's the kiss of the next roadmap level to the tick with a very extreme divergence. Right? So another fade opportunity right off the back end of the 200. Oh, Jesus. Hey, sorry, Neil. I guess you're going to have to catch that on the recording. Sorry about that. So just kept on going and then came right to there, like I just mentioned. And then stepped down through the next roadmap level, came right back to the back end of that, kissed it to the tick for the continuation. So as you can see, it's just been, I don't know, it just blows me away, right? Step down the hopeful, step down off the S&R level, step down off the next S&R level. Comes on down through all this, comes all the way back down through the previous daily low, comes up, kisses it to the back end, big bearish divergence over here, continues down, and then let's see if we can speed this up. It's been taking a lot of time. And then they come all the way back up and kiss to the tick the back end of our next roadmap level. I literally put these levels on our chart last week. I said, let's make this official here. 60, 60, 60, 66, 75, and 60, 73. These all three levels were just put on the chart last week, and they literally came right to the back end right to the back end, and right to the back end. It blows me away. That's why I had to make this recording, because if I didn't record it and show you guys, no one will believe me, right? It's just unbelievable. So then from there, as you can see, a little bit of play down here after we fail off the back end of the next roadmap level. Come down, find a little support off the next one, hold the back end of the 200 for a bit, and then we get all the way down to the next roadmap level at 47, 47.5, and what do you know, when they get back down through it here, they come right to the back end of it. Yeah, it peaks through 1 point and comes back down for another more than 5 point pullback. So great opportunities there on Friday. And then this is where actually I got some clues on some of my market internals. We might get a bounce. Sure enough, we bounced out. And on that bounce, we get the pullback right to it there, or the 200, either or. They were with just a tick or two away from each other. And it brought us right back to the freaking roadmap level again, where the market pulled back once again. And then at the end of the day on Friday, not only, let me pull this back. End of the day on Friday, we pull back and then come back and test the same roadmap level with a double top with the VWAP there, with a bearish divergence on this second little test in here for another fade opportunity to take profit right where the market bounced at the end of the day on Friday, at the end of the week, right off our roadmap level. So I conclude by saying there's absolutely no way you can get levels on the S&P 500 that are more accurate than the levels that we use here. So that was just a little promotion, but it still just blows me away. And this is something that happens quite literally a couple times a week, where we just see everything working almost perfectly, like we're prophets. Making profit because we're prophetic. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Have a great morning, guys. We're going to jump up to the higher time frame, see if there are any clues here for this morning, although we are trading right inside of the price action for the last week, week and a half. So talk to you guys soon. Take care.